Okay, let's get right into it. We're tackling what might be the biggest hurdle in the entire IELTS exam, writing task 2. But forget the stress, forget that feeling of staring at a blank page. In this explainer, we're going to walk through a foolproof system that takes you from total idea panic to perfect planning, putting you on the fast track to a band 8 or even higher.
Right. Picture this. You see the essay question, that 40-minute timer starts ticking down, and poof, your mind goes completely blank. Does that sound a little too familiar? Yeah, you're not alone. This exact moment of dread is where so many students get completely stuck before they've even written a single word.
There's a name for this feeling, idea panic. And here's the thing. It is the #1 reason students don't get the score they deserve. It's usually not about having bad grammar or a limited vocabulary. It's about freezing at the most critical moment because you don't have a system to get you started.
So what happens when this idea panic takes over? Well, your brain starts grasping for anything, right? You come up with ideas that are kind of irrelevant or way too general. Or maybe you try to come up with some genius idea that's actually impossible to explain clearly. But the biggest mistake of all? Just starting to write with no plan. That is a guaranteed recipe for a confusing, low-scoring essay.
But here's the good news. There is a cure for this panic, and it all starts right here with meticulous question analysis. I'm serious. What you do in the first 2 minutes will literally determine the success of the next 38. This isn't wasted time. It's the single most important investment you can make in your essay, and the system is beautifully simple. It works for any Task 2 question. You just have to follow these 3 steps. First, identify the question type. Is it an opinion essay, a discussion, a problem solution? Second, what's the general topic, like the environment or technology? And third, and this is the most important part, you have to pinpoint the specific topic you are actually being asked to write about.
Let's use an example to see why this is so crucial. Let's say the question is about spending more on railways than on roads. The general topic is government spending. But if you write about government spending in general, you'll fail. The specific topic is the comparison, should government spend more on railways than on roads? That is the only question you need to answer.
Okay, so once you understand the specific question, you need ideas. But I want you to forget everything you know about brainstorming. We're going to use something called the direct questioning method. It is a much smarter, faster way to get perfect ideas that are actually relevant.
So why is old-school brainstorming so bad for IELTS? Well, it's designed to create a huge quantity of ideas, and that just leads to confusion. You don't need 20 ideas. You only need 2 good ones. Direct questioning, on the other hand, is all about clarity. It helps you generate just a couple of simple, super relevant ideas that you can actually explain well.
Let's see it in action. For our essay on railways versus roads, you just turn the prompt into a direct question for yourself. Ask, why should government spend more money on railways? See how that works? Asking a direct question forces your brain to look for reasons, not just random thoughts about trains.
And here is the secret that every high-scoring student understands. The best ideas are almost always the most obvious ones. The first things that pop into your head. Why? Because simple ideas are so much easier to explain clearly and support with examples. Remember, IELTS is a communication test, not a genius test. Clarity wins. Every single time. All right, you've analyzed the question and you've got your 2 simple, obvious ideas. Now you need a plan. I want you to think of your essay plan as the Google Maps for your writing. It gives you clear, turn-by-turn directions so you never get lost or stressed. You just follow the map you made.
And the best map is a simple one. The top students consistently use a clean 4-paragraph structure. That's it. An introduction, 2 main body paragraphs, 1 for each of your ideas, and a conclusion. It's logical, it's efficient, and honestly, examiners love it because it's so easy to follow. So let's break down that all-important first paragraph. Your intro needs to do exactly 3 things. No more, no less. Number 1, paraphrase the question to show you understand it. Number 2, state your position clearly. Don't be vague, just say I agree or I disagree. And number 3, briefly outline the 2 main ideas you're about to discuss. It's a formula, and it just works.
Now, for the heart of your essay, the main body paragraphs. The secret here is a simple structure we call TEE, topic, explanation, example. You start with a clear topic sentence that introduces your first main idea. Then you explain it in more detail. Why is it important? And finally, you support it with a specific example. This TEE structure guarantees a perfectly developed paragraph.
And what about your second main body paragraph? You guessed it, it follows the exact same TEE structure. Just pop in your second main idea and you're good to go. This consistency is what creates that powerful, coherent argument that examiners are looking for.
Okay, let's finish strong. Your conclusion has two very simple jobs. First, restate your main opinion, just using different words than you did in the intro. Second, briefly summarize your two main points. Now, here's the most important rule of all. You must not introduce any new ideas in the conclusion. Just wrap it up cleanly and confidently.
Okay, so you have the system now, you've got the map. Let's talk about the pro tips and the mindset that truly separates the Band 8+ students from everybody else. This is where you really gain that winning edge.
So what's that magic number for planning? It's 5 to 10 minutes. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a lot of time. But get this. Data shows that a whopping 90% of students who score a Band 7 or higher spend this much time planning before they write. They aren't wasting time, they're investing it to write faster and better.
Here's a fact that might actually shock you. When we analyzed hundreds of Band 8 and 9 IELTS essays, guess what we found? Over 90% of the words they used were simple, everyday words. Let that sink in. The takeaway is this. Stop trying to memorize lists of fancy words. Focus on using simple words accurately to communicate your ideas with total clarity. And that really brings us to the core principle of this whole test. This quote says it all. IELTS is a communications test. They are testing your ability to clearly communicate in writing. It's not about how many big words you know. It's about how well you can build an argument that is clear, logical, and easy for anyone to understand.
So, the next time you sit down to practice, that 40-minute clock is going to start. And you have a choice. Are you going to plan for panic and just hope for the best? Or are you going to plan for perfection, using a clear system that guarantees a confident, high-scoring essay? The choice is yours.